Hi, this is Melinda Rose Edie, and I'd like to tell you a bit about a hike that my husband Nico and I took on our honeymoon excursion to Yellowstone National Park in late June of 2012. This hike was a hike we took out to Storm Point. Storm Point is located on the shores of Lake Yellowstone, and the trailhead starts at Indian Pond. Indian Pond is named that because there's historical evidence to show that the Nez Perce, while escaping the U.S. cavalry after Battle of Wounded Knee, came up and rested for a while at this pond while planning a further escape. After hiking for a while in forests that reminded us very much of Michigan, a lot of tall pines, humus strewed ground, the humidity almost got up to 30-40%. I mean, it was actually almost humid. We broke through the trail broke through into this open area, and we saw Lake Yellowstone for the first time. I have to say that I didn't think Lake Yellowstone compared in terms of the water didn't impress me nearly as much as say Lake Michigan, but the mountains were pretty awesome. Nico and I hiked down a side trail so that we could be on the shore by Lake Yellowstone. We spent some time looking at different rocks. We found a couple nice pieces of obsidian that we left behind on a log so that somebody else would be able to find them. We also spent some time looking at a tidal pool that had all sorts of small fish and invertebrates living in it. This was really awesome. You can see that this is a type of sedimentary rock, probably I'm assuming a sandstone of some kind. Geography or geology has never exactly been my strongest science, but either way, it's really beautiful. This is a bear scratch tree. We found these all over the trail. The bears, to sharpen their claws and to mark their territory, find a tree and just start scraping at it. Um, Thankfully, these were not terribly new. The sap had congealed, the wood had started to age a little bit, so we weren't terribly worried about bears being around. But I did have my bear bell on. This is a view along Lake Yellowstone. Again, you can see the mountains. The mountains I always thought were really breathtaking. And we do have a couple of ducks that were hanging out over here. This is looking, we hiked up. This is looking down off the back of Storm Point. And it was really cool because you have all of this white rock, kind of like a diatomaceous earth that was covered by a heavier layer of sand. This is actually Storm Point. It's a beautiful outcropping of granite. I was really grateful Nico was there because I had a sprained ankle. And he was able to help me up onto Storm Point and then help me get off Storm Point again. This part was just breathtaking with the mountains in the background looking across a still blue lake on a wonderfully sunny day. This is Storm Point up over here. We've hiked back down and now we're looking down into the area that two pictures back had been. The colors were amazing. When you look down, you would see kind of this beige, followed by white, followed by rusty orange, into greens and the blue of the water. I had Nico take this picture because I'm a swimmer, and it was all I could do, even though I knew it would be the stupidest thing I ever did, not to just dive into that water. It looked like it was just so inviting, even though it was freezing and I didn't know how deep it was, and it would have ended horribly. So I didn't dive in, but man, it was tempting. Here's some interesting fracture and mud accretion patterns that we found along the shore. On the hike back was kind of boring because it again was a lot of pine tree barrows, not unlike what you'd see in Michigan. But up in this area, this is called Soltufra. I think I'm pronouncing it probably wrong. This is an area of fumaroles that are the breaking through the hill. And so this entire area is hot, and you can see that some areas it's killed off the plant life, and in other areas some of the pine trees are still hanging on. This is the path that we followed. Ironically, this was probably the hardest part of the path for me to follow because my ankle was quite sore, and it was not much wider than two of my feet next to each other. How Nico managed it, I don't really know. But this was pretty much a deer or bison run. Probably a bison run. We saw lots of bison tracks. And bison wallows. Oh my goodness, bison wallows everywhere. And here's a picture of Nico and I. By this point, we figured out it was easier for Nico to take the pictures because, as you can see in his sunglasses, his arms are longer than mine, so we could get both of us in the picture. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.